Hello again. This is Bobby Scott with Bobby Scott and Associates Professional Counseling. Thank you for joining us. We're doing another DBT skill brief training, and I wanted to talk with you today about that. Again, DBT stands for Dialectical Behavioral Therapy, and DBT is developed to help us really to manage our emotions so that we can find some sense of balance and not be overwhelmed and maybe even emotionally suffering and emotionally and painfully suffering. So we're going to continue to do these videos to maybe help you folks and help anyone who wants to watch them. Today, I want to focus on the skill of radical acceptance. Radical acceptance. Now, if you have any history with 12-step groups or AA or NA or Al-Anon, you will quickly understand this concept because it's also prevalent in that field as well, or in that area. Radical acceptance is, again, about helping us learn to use this skill to manage our emotions and have some sense of balance in our life. So, I want to pull up just on the screen. I'm going to share my screen and pull up on our screen kind of a little handout that I give to our patients or my clients. It's called Radical Acceptance. And radical acceptance is, I think you'll relate to this. The first couple of questions: is your past or present causing you to suffer? Do you feel like you're stuck and can't move on? And I find that to be the case for many of our folks. Most all of us, really, if you get right down to it, there are times where we just kind of feel stuck and we feel like we can't move on. Radical acceptance is radically accepting 100% things, especially that we can't change, okay? Things that we can't change. In order to accept your life, we have to accept it as it is. And that's hard sometimes, you know? There are some things that we probably radically accept pretty easily. For example, if you were going to play golf or tennis or softball today, and all of a sudden it started pouring down, I doubt very seriously that if you would go running out into the rain and screaming at the rain, yelling the rain to stop and going off on the rain and just being totally depressed and angry. Why? Because you've radically accepted that you have no control over the rain, correct? Now, you will still be frustrated and disappointed, but that's different. That's not going to bring you generally misery and suffering and pain because of that. So you have to accept things as they are. And also that everything happens for a reason, even if we don't understand why. And that's true in a lot of things that happen to us. We don't understand why. It's okay to question. But we have to understand that it happens for a reason. I don't know God's plan totally, but I do know He has a plan for us. And I also know that sometimes things happen for no reason at all because of someone else's behavior. Sometimes we know because of our own behavior we suffer. So, and then next, everything is as it should be. We don't have to like it, or maybe we don't have to deserve it. It doesn't mean we're deserving of it, as the video, as it says. Now, how do you do this radical acceptance? Well, I like this concept of willfulness. When we don't accept something, we become kind of willful against it. Like, oh, I'm not going to accept this. This is not going to, that's difficult to do. Instead of saying, what did I do to deserve this? Turn our minds towards just accepting that it is what it is. Understand this. This is powerful right here. Remember, acceptance does not mean approve. Acceptance does not mean approve. That is powerful, okay? Because it's not the same thing. We don't have to approve or like things. I don't like it because it's raining and I want to play golf or tennis. I don't like it because so-and-so does this behavior, that behavior. But I can't change anyone else but me. And the quicker we realize that and accept the things we cannot change, the easier and the better it'll be. You're probably all familiar with the serenity prayer, which is similar and very much the same principle. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can. And here's the kicker, the wisdom to know the difference. Because that means if we're not understanding the difference and we're continuing to try to change things that we cannot change, we will only be more and more frustrated and more anxious. So Radical acceptance is one of the most powerful skills. I didn't say it's easy. It's not easy. It's simple, but not easy. But just turn your mind towards, you know what? Is there something in my life right now that I'm not accepting and I have to work on acceptance? That could be anything from other person's behavior, even the stages of grief. When we lose someone, whether that's through divorce or through death, acceptance is that final stage. Now, grief is a process that has to go through to get to that, but we can work toward that end. All right. So, radical acceptance is a powerful skill. Feel free to Google acceptance, Google radical acceptance. The big book in AA has a paragraph about acceptance that's very, very powerful. I would encourage you to take a look at that. Anyway, radical acceptance. Thank you and have a great day.